Welcome to Corner Shower and Laundry. My name is Misha. In this video, I'm going to show you the laundry facilities and how we operate them. As you can see, we've got 3 washers over here, 1 front facing, 2 top loading, and then 3 front loading dryers. And we try to get the most use out of these that we can every day that we're open. We keep them quite busy. So in terms of keeping track of the laundry that we get, either we get them in bags from guests and we have to label them, or we receive clothes from guests loosely. In that case, we have a number of hampers that we keep the clothes in. In this case, we have a guest who dropped off just a few clothes, and we keep a magnetic name tag on top of that loose set of clothes at all times so that we remember and can track whose clothes they are. We would then place them in one of these washers. In this case, it's a very small load of clothes, so we would keep them all together. There's not much to separate. With larger loads of clothes, of course, we're going to want to separate them. Every item needs to be unfolded, like socks or underwear, and they need to be placed in the washer after the washer cycle has been started with a little bit of detergent. In the case of these top-loading washers, the way that they work is once you fill them with whatever load you're trying to wash, you can set them to the proper setting. In most cases, you're going to wash things cold because there may be colors and whites mixed in together, so we don't want them to bleed. And then we would simply press the start button with some detergent in the bottom of the washer already. In the case of the front-loading washer, we would put the clothes in through the front, and then there is a hatch on the top that we would open in which to put detergent and or bleach. If we were putting in bleach, it would go in this compartment. If we were putting in detergent, it would go in this larger oval-shaped compartment. To turn this on, you would select, using the select button, whichever cycle that you want to wash, in most cases cold, and then you would press the start button. You need to, in this case, you need to make sure that this front-facing door is closed and latched by turning the handle. Once we move everything to the dryer, in this case we have some towels that are newly finished drying, and you can see that in order to dry things faster, we have a couple of dryer balls that we use to collect the lint. And of course there's the lint trap right there, which we keep cleaned out between every single load. When it comes to operating these, it's even simpler than the laundry machines. You just got to turn on the power, and then typically we set our preset cycles to permanent press, and we up the dryness to the highest possible option. From there, we would then press start. It of course makes quite a loud sound, so I'll refrain from doing that here. And speaking of the sound, while we have the dryers going, we always have a vent going, and that is turned on by pressing the white light switch here on the wall to the right of the front door. This makes sure that we keep our area well ventilated because it ventilates both the showers and this laundry area back here, so we don't want to get musty. Once we pull our clothes out of the dryer, we've got these laundry hampers here that we can pull the unfolded clothes out of, and then we can set them on top of these tables. From there, we fold the clothes as you would your own at home, and then once they're folded, we place them in either black or clear garbage bags. And on these bags, we can either write directly with a Sharpie the guest's name, or we use a piece of tape and write on there in the case of the black bags. And in the case of bags that people have given us that are their own, as is the case with this one, we would simply label it with the guest's name and give them back the bag that they gave us. Once we're done with the laundry cycles from every day, we will close these with nothing in them, and we'll set them to a hot cycle. Once we've run the water a little bit, we'll open them back up again, and we'll pour in a little bit of this bleach. We want to make sure that there's nothing else in the laundry when we pour that bleach in, because that's going to be our end of the day cycle to clean out the washers for the upcoming day. And Once we let those run, we can just set it and forget it. And that is how we close up the laundry. Once everything is done in here, once we've, as I showed you in the previous video, done all the cleaning out of the showers, once all of our guests are done for the day and we've taken the towels and washed them and dried them, we will turn off all the lights in the facility, though a lot of them are motion sensors, so they'll turn off on their own. We'll head out this front door and make sure it's firmly closed, and we will set the door code. From there, I'll give you just a very brief tour of this receptacle area that we have back here. This is for when our guests are not present to pick up the clothing that we've finished washing and drying for them. As you can see in this corner here, this is where we keep all of the bags of done laundry. You can see it's kind of a mix of personal bags, little laundry suitcases that people have for themselves, or totes, and then a mixture of the clear garbage bags that we use for guests when they give us loose clothes. In addition, there's some supplies over here, some extra shampoos, extra deodorants, extra shaving cream, as well as smaller bags that we might not need to use as often, but the guests often ask us for, as well as some more necessary stuff for the day-to-day, like paper towel rolls that we then use on our sink. That is the end of my brief tour of our space. If you have any more questions, please direct them to the operations manager, and they will give you a speedy answer to your question.